Hello everyone, we are Hot Topic Group 11. Our topic today is about the short work week in Canada. Firstly, I will start with introducing all my team members. My name is Jin Li, and also we have Edmund Esteban, Rihanna Dyer, and Sebastian Vasquez. Shorter work week actually means that employees work only 32 hours over 4 days. Unlike compressed work weeks, a shorter work week actually requires less time on the job. As Canadians, averagely we work 2 to 3 months longer than the Europeans each year in terms of total working hours. And also surprisingly, even 2.5 weeks more than the Japanese. In fact, our working length is longer than the 1920s. And here is our agenda. We're also going to look through with the pros and cons about the short work week, and also the proposed solutions, and also the conclusions. Next, Adam and I'm going to talk about the pros and cons.
Now we're going to look at some of the pros and cons to a shorter work week in Canada. According to the research and work done by Princeton University graduate, author, and time management expert Laura Vanderkam, she suggests that a shorter work week in Canada could actually make everyone more productive. Laura believes this because in a shorter amount of time within the week, say people are working 32 hours a week or less, and they still have to get the same amount of work done, well, they're doing the same amount of output in less time and can become a lot more productive. And Laura suggests that another benefit to this would actually be better work-life balance, which is something a lot of people are looking for today, knowing how hard Canadians are working in the week, because the high demand and the high investment needed for time in the job and the workforce that people are working now. People are suffering in their personal lives, and it causes turnover because the work-life balance is out of place for them. So businesses could also benefit from a shorter work week by keeping their employees happier with a better work-life balance, because the week is shorter, they have more time to do and spend with their family. Now we're going to look at some of the cons to a shorter work week here in Canada. Some of the cons to a shorter work week would be that people would have less time to spend on longer-term career development goals, which are important for people's personal success. Working only 32 hours would leave less time for collaborations with colleagues and working on group projects, which could affect the course of someone's career. So top management experts suggest that this is one thing to look out for, always to keep in mind. If you are going to be going ahead and changing the way you guys do your scheduling and your time management, just keep in mind that employees might start to just focus on what gets the immediate task done, instead of investing in long-term projects that take a little bit more time and collaboration than the immediate tasks they're working on now.
Hello everyone, my name is Rihanna Dyer, and I'm going to be doing the proposed solutions for a shorter work week. During this global pandemic, our mental health is very important. We are all under an immense amount of stress, and it is hard to find a balance. Implementing a shorter work week would be beneficial to everyone in Canada. Shorter work weeks would mean more time with the family, more time to pursue personal interests and goals, and could also elevate workers' productivity. This sounds great, right? Well, there is a solution that Canada desperately needs, and I would love to show you how. In Sweden, their working hours are a maximum of 40 hours per week. Studies have shown that this has eliminated unnecessary distractions, maximized productivity, and keeps people's mental and physical health flourishing. The answer Canadians need is the 4-day work week. In the July 2019 study conducted by Henley Business School, the 4-day working period would save 104 billion euros per year. The study has also found that 64% of businesses' productivity has boosted, 78% of workers were happier, 40% of workers started to work on their own skills, and 72% of workers wanted to implement the 4-day work week. So, how can you convert your company, job, or school into a 4-day work week? Well, firstly, you need to make a pros and cons and share it with your coworkers and bosses. Create flexible policies, check schedules, and do a trial run. That's the most important. Another solution would be to use a traditional siesta law like Spain utilizes. Since 2015 in Spain, everything in the town closes between 2 to 5 p.m. and all noise are to be kept to a low level. This has shown a lower risk of dying from heart disease and has boosted mental health. While this seems like it would be impossible for Canadians to implement, maybe we could change the hours from, say, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., or we could cut a few hours off every day of the usual work week schedule, or we could also maybe make weekends a mandatory that we could have to take off. There's so many different ways, and because of this global pandemic, we have shown that we can work from anywhere and we can go to school from anywhere. So there's no excuses. We can still work and still flourish as a community, as a country, as a nation.
Now, it is clear that fellow Canadians are being overworked to the point that their mental health, social lives, and families are being affected. With an average of 40 hours a week, people are nearly working 50 hours if you also include the amount of time that it takes for them to get to and from work. However, with the current pandemic situation, it is clear that people are now working from home. Don't be fooled into thinking that working from home daily is actually a good thing, when in fact, it really is not. Spending your days inside working in the same environment that you sleep in really isn't good for anyone at all. In fact, it has been proven that an increase of anxiety and depression have actually come from not being able to socialize or really just leave your home. Nonetheless, even before the pandemic occurred, Canadians were working several hours more than other countries around the world, such as China, Japan, France, Germany, and so on. That being said, having shorter work weeks would increasingly help fellow Canadians spend a lot more time with their families, relieve a lot more stress, and essentially live a healthier lifestyle. Thanks for listening. I hope you're able to gather a bit of information as to why a shorter work week in Canada would be a lot more beneficial for us all.